you to fix our hydro system. I'm asking you to fix Canada. I'm asking you, Mr. Trudeau. I know we need HST. I know we need taxes to fix roads. I know we are a country that welcomes people from everywhere. I'm putting my faith in God and you, that you're going to make our country a place that we can prosper again. That I don't have to wake up tomorrow and worry whether I'm thriving or I'm surviving. I don't have to go to work and eat instant oatmeal for lunch and live off Campbell's soup. I make almost $50,000 a year, Mr. Trudeau, and I'm living in energy poverty. Please tell me, how are you going to fix that for me and all of us in rural Ontario?
Carbon tax is a disaster. It's terrible. $1,000 a month for a hydro bill.
First off, on behalf of everyone here, let me say thank you, not just for everything you do, but for sharing that extraordinary story with us. Your strength, your determination is an inspiration and example to us all. We are a country in which anyone with a quarter of your strength, of your drive, should be thriving and focused on how are you going to spoil your grandchildren with all your energy, as opposed to how are you going to get through the week or the day. A lot of different elements come into your question. A number of them are provincial. Hydro bills are provincial, but as you point out, the federal government's decision to put a price on carbon is something that we have moved forward with, and it's one that is causing consternation amongst a broad range of people.
And I
understand, because carbon and carbon emissions and carbon is part of everything we do, whether it's heating our homes or getting back and forth from work, or in the products we buy.
Justify a person who's barely surviving having to pay for infrastructure for public transit in Toronto in the country.
No, I entirely agree.
Making money to provide for rebates for people to buy $150,000 electric cars when most of us can even afford a $20,000 car.
Indeed. We need to realize that we are in a time of transition right now, that the world is moving off of fossil fuels, and that's a good thing, and it's an important thing, because quite frankly, the extreme weather events that are coming are going to be incredibly expensive, and not just for our communities, but for our agriculture, for people in the north, people right across the country. We are facing a challenge where we have to change behaviors, and it is important that those changes happen in a way that doesn't penalize our most vulnerable, that doesn't make it more difficult for families who are already stretched thin to succeed. And that's one of the reasons why what we're doing with putting a price on carbon is we are leaving it up to the provinces to determine whether a carbon tax or a levy or a cap and trade system is right for them. And on the other hand, we are not taking any money outside of the jurisdictions that pay those carbon taxes. So it will be up to the government of Ontario to ensure that
not your
you
responsibility,
are not
Trudeau.
penalized, that folks like you don't. We haven't brought in any carbon tax yet, ma'am. It doesn't start kicking in for another few years, okay? But I understand your concerns. And
next year,
what is so important is that in this time of transition, we do not penalize people who are already stretched to, and in some cases beyond the breaking limit in terms of their finances.
They are at the breaking limit.
And that's why being smart about how we reallocate those funds is essential, and that's what we're leaving it in the hands of the provinces to do. And I'm trusting they will do that responsibly and not penalize you further and challenge you on that. But we need to get off fossil fuels. We need to make this transition. We need to start protecting our lakes, waters, rivers, streams, our land, our children's future.
Canada doesn't
and that means we are going to have to go through a shift period.
I don't know what to say.
Boy.
I don't know what to say.
Me either.
Mindless babble.
Yep.
Really, that's what it is. It's mindless babble. Kathy Katula had her very specific concerns and fears that she asked Justin Trudeau to address.
He won't.
And put her faith in him to take care of. And it was drivel that she got in return. He's tone deaf.
He's
Started
insane.
babbling about his carbon tax, that we're in times of transition, moving off fossil fuels. Then he threw the Ontario Premier under the bus, Kathleen Wynne.
Yeah.
It's the provinces that have to make the decisions. It's the provinces that are responsible. It's the provinces who will have to take with the money. I can't even do this. I can't even repeat. I have no skills when it comes to trying to.
God help this country
people like
under Trudeau. Can't afford this
And
bastard.
he was talking about the provinces making the decisions on what happens with the money that is taken from citizens of the provinces as a carbon tax or cap and trade or a levy, as he said. I kept thinking about what Brad Wall, the Premier of Saskatchewan, said to the Prime Minister following the federal government, provincial government's meetings just a few weeks ago, where Mr. Trudeau pointed out when Mr. Wall said, look, our farmers are struggling, our farmers are in difficulty, the agricultural sector is going to have trouble paying these taxes and carrying on and meeting their expenses. And Trudeau said, well, you can give the money back to them. So the Premier Wall, and I'm paraphrasing, said, so what you want me to do then is tax the farmers with the carbon tax, send that to you, you'll send it back to me, and then I give it back to the farmers. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Trudeau had no response to that.
Oh.
So the province of Saskatchewan will be meeting the federal government in court